This is a KGW News Special Edition.
Well, it is a sad day for lots of Blazers fans. Portland could soon be saying goodbye to Damian Lillard. He's requesting a trade to a different team. Thank you for joining us for this special edition of KGW News. Let's bring in Orlando Sanchez. And Orlando, talk about disappointment for his local fans.
Yeah, Blair, lots of fans are gutted by today's news. It's the end of an era in Rip City. One of the greatest Portland Trailblazers of all time is ready to move on. Damian Lillard has requested a trade. For the past couple of years, Lillard has been asking for help on the roster to have a shot at a championship. And the past few weeks, he has been more vocal than ever about it, but this offseason was the tipping point. Now the franchise's all-time leading scorer is looking for a new place to play in the prime of his career. Chris Haynes of Yahoo Sports says Lillard's preferred destination is Miami. Multiple reports also mention Philadelphia and Brooklyn as possibilities. Ultimately, the front office will have the final say on a trade and where Lillard ends up. In a statement from General Manager Joe Cronin, he said, quote, "We've been clear. We want Dame here, but he notified us today he wants out and he'd prefer to play someplace else. What hasn't changed for us, we're committed to winning, and we're going to do what's best for the team in pursuit of that goal." We hit the streets of Portland to find out how the fans are feeling.
It's Portland. He's always been at Portland. I mean, I'm actually surprised.
The future is really in doubt the next few years. I think they're going to go down. He's one of the most exciting players in the NBA, and they're going to really miss him.
He has actually served us so well. So I'm never going to get angry with him, and when he comes into town, I would always cheer for him.
Lillard is considered by many to be the best player in franchise history. His work in the community, the way he's embraced the city like no other superstar before him. His basketball resume is legendary, delivering some iconic moments in his 11 years in the Rose City, leading the team to the playoffs in 8 of his first 9 seasons. No one has scored more points in a Blazers uniform than Lillard. He's a 7-time All-Star, 7-time All-NBA selection, part of the NBA's 75th anniversary team, and an Olympic gold medalist. Now, there's no immediate timetable on when a trade gets done, but there's no doubt the Blazers will receive offers, and maybe Lillard gets that chance to compete for a title somewhere else. Back to you.
All right, Orlando, thank you for that update. Well, happening now, a 4th of July weekend tradition is back at Waterfront Park in downtown Portland. It's the Waterfront Blues Festival. It kicked off today and runs through the 4th of July on Tuesday. There are 4 stages set up along the waterfront, and music will be going on all day long for each of the 4 days. If you want to check it out, tickets are $140 for all 4 days or $55 a day. You can bring low chairs and empty water bottles, and if you go, make sure you're ready for hot weather. And speaking of hot weather, let's check in with meteorologist Joe Ranieri. And Joe, how hot are we talking?
We're going to be looking at temperatures knocking on 100 degrees heading into the early part of next week. Basically, I think the best shot of seeing triple-digit heat arrives on Wednesday of next week. But for the 4th of July, it's going to be pretty warm in many locations. Let's go out to the Oregon coast. Temperature of 63 degrees from our Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera. Beautiful conditions out there to kick off the holiday weekend. We topped out at highs right around the mid to the upper 80s. 85 in Troutdale. The Portland International Airport, we saw a temperature of 84 degrees. A little bit cooler in downtown Portland with temperatures right around 81 degrees. The Dalles, again, for the second day in a row, you saw temperatures in the low 90s. So as we head into tomorrow, it's going to be another warm day, but kind of comfortable, mid to the upper 80s. Heading into Monday, we could be looking at temperatures very close to 90. Now, again, last night, I was talking about how we could easily see highs in the mid to the upper 90s. I dialed things down a little bit, still running pretty hot, 95 degrees. We could look at record-breaking temperatures for the 4th of July. Come Wednesday, yeah, we're looking at temperatures closer to 100 degrees. And this is what we've kind of seen over the last few Julys or so. Very pleasant conditions going back to 2019. Of course, last year was nice too with temperatures in the upper 70s. Yeah, heading into this 4th of July, Blair, it's going to be a little bit toasty. So you might want to plan your 4th of July events, the barbecue plans, all that a little bit earlier on the day. Maybe brunch this year might sound better.
I love that. All right, Joe, thanks so much. Well, right now we're working to learn more about a hiker who died at Multnomah Falls this afternoon. The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office says a man fell from a trail just before 2 o'clock. It took first responders about an hour to get to him. The group he was with says they couldn't see him after he fell. Now, the Sheriff's Office says he fell about 100 to 150 feet. By the time they got to him, he had died. The Sheriff's Office says he lost his footing during his hike, and it's a reminder to make sure you're safe on the trails.
This isn't just going on a walk. This is a trail. This is a hiking trail, and so we encourage people to come prepared for an actual hike. It's not a paved walk. It's a hike.
The man's name has not been released. And a young boy is in the hospital tonight after a bad crash at a motocross race. This happened this morning at Washougal Motocross Park. A 10-year-old boy lost control of his motorcycle and was hit by 2 other riders. He had to be life-flighted to the hospital. The Clark County Sheriff's Office says he was in critical condition. Well, tonight, minimum wage workers in Oregon are earning a little bit more. Today, the minimum wage increased 70 cents statewide. But how much workers will make varies based on what county you live in. Here's Thomas Schultz.
In Portland, minimum wage is now $15.45. The standard statewide rate is $14.20. In non-urban counties, it's $12.50 an hour. Oregon unions praise the increase in pay, but some small business owners say it makes it more difficult for them to continue operations. There's a bustle of activity at Dan and Louie Oyster Bar as workers prepare for doors to open.
This was left in the till, casual labor.
Co-owner Michelle Walksmith is busy prepping the bar. But with minimum wage rising 70 cents Saturday, she knows money just got a little bit tighter.
We're still reeling from the hit we took for 3 full years, and it still hasn't recovered all the way. And so it's hard to pay people more money when you really don't have money.
Walksmith says she wants wages to rise because housing prices continue to soar. But increased pay may mean less staff.
We have to bare bones it and hope that when the rushes come, we have enough people here to cover the rush.
Representatives from the Oregon AFL-CIO, the statewide Federation of Labor Unions, said in a statement that the uptick will positively impact more than 100,000 Oregonians. They say the rise is a significant milestone. Some agree.
It's nice to see people being able to have enough money to afford the things they need to live.
But Christopher Lee Warner realizes there's 2 sides to the coin.
To some people, it's a good thing, and to small business owners that are struggling, it's not a good thing.
Small businesses like Walksmith's, which is struggling to compete with giant chains.
We recently had a cook leave, which I was paying $18 an hour, and he left because he could wash dishes and it was easier at McDonald's, literally.
Despite the bump, minimum wage workers are still a far ways off from being able to afford a 2-bedroom apartment. A recent study by the National Low-Income Housing Coalition shows people need to make almost $30 an hour to afford that. Thomas Schultz, KGW News.
2 days ago, the Supreme Court struck down affirmative action in higher education. That means colleges and universities won't be considering race when selecting students. Let's bring in Ashley Grams. And Ashley, you talked with local organizations that are bracing for this change.
Right, Blair. One woman I talked with today told me she's concerned about the message this decision sends to students of color, many who are facing significant obstacles already. College Possible is an organization that helps students from underrepresented communities get into college and complete their degree.
About 70% of our students are students of color. The demographic that we work with is all of our students come from low-income backgrounds.
Margarita Gutierrez Lemos has worked with these students for 7 years and says the Supreme Court's decision to strike down affirmative action will negatively impact some students.
So I think this decision is only going to increase the disparities of students of color being accepted into college, and it's going to make our program even more needed and even more crucial for the students that we support.
While she's disappointed in the decision, Gutierrez Lemos agrees that affirmative action as we know it isn't without flaw.
Affirmative action wasn't the perfect solution, and I honestly don't know what the perfect solution would be to mitigate some of the impacts that exclusion from higher education has had on students of color.
As for how this decision will play out at the university level,
we don't know what admissions offices are going to do with this decision.
Some schools, including Oregon State, have already affirmed their commitment to fostering diversity alongside this decision.
We're very strongly committed to providing for opportunities for people of diversity, whether they be students of color, adult learners of color, first-generation students.
As the nation waits for the full ramifications of this ruling, Gutierrez Lemos will continue to encourage her students.
You do belong in college, no matter what anyone says. You can be successful and graduate and enter the workforce and have a career.
Now, how this will actually look in terms of college applications remains to be seen, but several states banned affirmative action before this Supreme Court decision, so trends at schools in those areas could give us a look into what will happen across the country. Blair?
Ashley, thank you.